Welcome to Sleepy Survival Stories. Come in gently, as if you are stepping through the flap of a quiet tent while the world outside turns soft and blue. Let the day fall from your shoulders. Let your jaw loosen. Let your hands unclench like a rope finally set down beside a sleeping pack. Breathe in and feel how the air arrives without effort. Breathe out and feel how it leaves without argument. Somewhere far above the noise of cities, the mountains are holding their long vigil again. Silent ridgelines beneath starlight, gullies shaped like ancient prayers, forests that whisper in a language older than our names. Tonight, we settle over a truth that is both delicate and immense. The avalanche chain, the way snow becomes a story, the way a slope becomes a sentence, the way timing becomes mercy. An avalanche is not only a sudden roar, often it begins as quietness, a week of storms laying down layer after layer, like pages pressed into a cold book. A hidden seam of weakness, thin as doubt, buried beneath fresh beauty. A wind that moves snow like a careful hand, rearranging candles on an altar. A sun that warms the surface just enough to make it silky, just enough to make it tempted to slide. And then, sometimes, one small trigger, a footstep, a shout, a cornice sighing loose in the dark, and the mountain, which has been patient, finally lets go. But even here, where the world can change in a breath, we come for peace. Because survival is not only about fear. Survival is also about reverence, about listening, about knowing when to move and when to wait. It is the humble strength of those who turn back when pride tries to lead. It is the quiet courage of partners who choose one another over a summit, one another over a schedule, one another over a dream that demands too much. Tonight, we will drift through the chain, snowpack, slope angle, timing, weather windows, and the human heart moving carefully through white silence. We will remember true stories of disaster and rescue, not to stir the nervous mind, but to soften it with wisdom. We will hold the brave, the lost, and the saved with gentle hands. We will notice small lights, a headlamp beam on falling snow, a shared thermos, a voice calling steady directions through wind, a decision made in time. And as we go, I will keep inviting you back to rest, back to the safe camp of your bed, back to the simple work of breathing. You don't have to solve anything tonight. You don't have to conquer any summit in the dark. You are allowed to be held by the story, like a sleeping valley held by the mountains. So settle in now. Let the room grow dimmer in your mind. Let your thoughts slow like snowflakes finding the earth. Tonight, we walk through the high world together, softly, faithfully, and unhurried. You are here to rest, to breathe, and to be held in a story larger than yourself. The snow remembers every storm. Before the rush, before the rumble, there is only snowfall, quiet as breath on a cold night. Each storm lays down a new layer, a fresh page in the mountain's hidden book. Some snowfalls light and feathery, some dense and heavy, some carried by wind like drifting incense. And beneath it all, older layers wait, crystals reshaped by time, crusts hardened by sun, grains loosened by cold. The mountain does not forget these layers. It holds them like memory, stacked and silent. And in this, there is a gentle lesson. What seems calm on the surface may still carry history underneath. So tonight, let your own storms rest. Let the layers settle. Let your spirit grow quiet. A weak layer can hide like a whisper. Not all danger announces itself with sharp edges. Sometimes the most fragile layer is the one you cannot see, a thin veil of sugary crystals formed when cold air steals warmth from the snowpack. It feels soft, almost innocent, but it cannot hold weight well. Then a stronger slab forms above it, and the weakness becomes trapped, waiting like a hush beneath a hymn. This is how many avalanches begin. Strength resting on frailty, confidence resting on something not healed. And yet, the mountain teaches tenderness here. We learn to look deeper, to test, to listen. In the same way, you can be gentle with yourself tonight. If something inside you feels fragile, you do not need to force it. You can notice it, honor it, and let it be held with care. The slope is the stage where snow decides. Avalanches do not usually choose flat ground. They choose angles, those leaning places where gravity quietly gathers patience. Many dangerous slides happen on slopes steep enough to invite movement, yet not so steep that snow falls away constantly. It is a narrow window where beauty and risk share the same face. A bowl that looks like a sanctuary can also be a mouth that opens. This isn't meant to frighten you. It's meant to remind you the world has thresholds. Certain angles, certain moods, certain moments require more humility than speed. Tonight, you don't need to stand on any steep edge. You can lie back in safety. Let your inner ground become gentle and level. Let rest be your shelter. Wind is an unseen builder of danger. Wind can feel playful at camp, like a hand tugging softly at a hood. But up high, wind becomes a craftsman, moving snow grain by grain, stacking it into smooth, heavy slabs. It loads leeward slopes quietly, the way a river builds a sandbar in the dark. The surface may look clean and perfect, like untouched silk, yet it can be tense with weight. Travelers learn to read wind signs, sculpted drifts, pillow-like rolls, cornices hanging like frozen waves. And in that watching, there is wisdom. Life also has winds, pressures, expectations, invisible forces that pile onto our shoulders. Tonight, you may lay those down. Let the wind pass over you without building anything new. Let stillness be your warmth. Fresh snow can be both gift and burden. There is wonder in new snowfall. The way it hushes a forest, the way it softens sharp rock into something gentle. Yet fresh snow can also be unstable, especially when it falls fast and heavy. The layers beneath may not have time to bond, and the mountain becomes like a table set with too many plates. In storms, rescuers and guides often wait, not because they lack courage, but because they respect timing. They know the snow needs a quiet hour to settle into itself. And so do you. If your mind has been piling up thoughts all day, fast, heavy, unending, tonight you may choose patience. Let your thoughts land, then quiet. Let them bond into calm. You are not behind. You are simply letting the storm pass. Warmth can loosen what cold once held. A sudden rise in temperature is like a soft song that changes the snow's shape. Sunlight can melt the surface, and water trickles down, weakening bonds like unseen tears. Wet avalanches often move slower than dry ones, but they can be powerful, heavy, relentless, like the mountain exhaling a long-held breath. In spring, timing becomes sacred. Early starts, careful exits, respect for afternoon warmth. This is not only survival technique, it is a rhythm lesson. There are times to move and times to rest, times when warmth is healing, and times when warmth becomes too much too soon. Tonight, you are safe in the gentle warmth of your room. Let it heal you, not hurry you. Let it soften your day without undoing your peace. Cornices are beautiful, and they lie. Along ridgelines, wind can form overhanging shelves of snow, cornices, curved and elegant like frozen waves. From above, they may look like solid ground. From below, they hang like a warning. Cornices can break far back from the edge, taking a traveler by surprise, and their collapse can trigger avalanches on the slope beneath. The lesson is quiet and old. Not everything that looks stable is safe. Not every edge is meant to be tested. Tonight, you don't need to stand on any brink to prove anything. Let your worth be simple. Let it be steady. You can choose the wide path of rest, the humble path of staying close to warmth and life. That choice is strength. A single step can awaken a whole mountainside. It can feel unfair how a vast slope can be released by something so small. But snow is a community of crystals, each one holding to the next, until one bond breaks and the message spreads. In slab avalanches, the fracture can shoot across the slope faster than thought, turning stillness into motion. Many survivors describe the moment as unreal, like the ground becoming water. And yet, even here, there is something sacred. It reminds us how connected things are, how small choices matter, how attention is love. Tonight, let that idea comfort you instead of alarm you. One small breath can calm the whole body. One small surrender can soften the mind. Let your step tonight be inward, towards sleep. Listening is a form of shelter. Experienced travelers do not only look, they listen. They listen for a hollow whoomph, the sound of a weak layer collapsing under weight. They watch for cracks shooting from their skis like lightning in miniature. These signs are not punishments. They are mercies, early whispers that say, "Not today." In life, we often push past whispers until they become shouts. The mountains invite the opposite: humility that turns back early, gratitude that chooses home. Tonight, your body may be giving you gentle signals too. Tired eyes, heavy limbs, a longing for quiet. Let that be your whoomph, your kind warning. You don't have to push farther. You can turn toward rest now and feel safe in the wisdom of stopping. The safest decision is often the unseen one. Many avalanche tragedies are not caused by lack of strength, but by a hunger to keep going. One more run, one more crossing, one more push because the sky looks clear. Yet the clearest days can follow the most dangerous storms. Snow can look perfect, inviting, holy in its brightness, while still holding fragile seams beneath. The safest decision may be the one nobody applauds: waiting, rerouting, choosing a forested ridge instead of an open bowl, choosing humility instead of speed. That is quiet heroism. And tonight, you are practicing it too. You are choosing stillness over strain. You are choosing sleep over the restless climb of tomorrow's worries. Let that choice settle around you like a warm blanket, and let your heart be proud in a gentle way. As you listen, let your breathing slow, like a careful traveler placing each step with reverence. Feel the soft weight of your blankets as a safe snow cave against the winds of the world. Imagine a lantern glowing low beside you, steady and kind. You do not need to solve anything now. You do not need to argue with the dark. Simply rest here and let the mountain wisdom become a lullaby, quiet, patient, and protective. Snow crystals are tiny architects of fate. In the beginning, snow is not a blanket. It is 1,000 small shapes, each crystal born in cold air with its own design. Some fall as delicate stars, some as needles, some as grains like salt. When they land, they begin to change. Wind breaks them, warmth rounds them, cold hollows them into fragile cups. Over time, these tiny forms decide how well the snowpack binds, how easily it slides, how long it can hold. It is humble, almost invisible work, yet it shapes whole mountainsides. There is comfort in this tonight. The smallest things matter. A single gentle breath, a single softened thought, can reshape the whole inner landscape. You do not need grand transformations. Let small mercies do their quiet building while you rest. Facets form when the snow forgets warmth. When the surface snow is much colder than the deeper layers, a strong temperature gradient rises through the pack. Water vapor moves, crystals grow sharp and sugary, and the snow becomes loose like dry sugar. This is how faceting creates a weak layer, cold turning beauty into brittleness. The mountain doesn't judge it, it simply reveals the pattern. And you can be the same with yourself. Sometimes when warmth is missing, when comfort has been scarce, something inside grows sharp with fatigue. Tonight, you can offer yourself warmth again. Not dramatic warmth, just enough. A softer jaw, a slower breath, a kinder inner voice. Let the brittle places be held. Let the gentle heat of rest round your edges, back into peace. A slab is snow-wearing armor. A slab forms when snow becomes cohesive, packed by wind, settled by time, stiffened by a crust. It can feel strong underfoot, almost trustworthy, like a floor. But a hard slab over a weak layer is like a heavy roof on fragile beams. When the weak layer fails, the slab moves as one piece, wide and powerful, carrying the weight of everything above it. Many disasters live inside this simple pairing, strength placed where support is thin. And so tonight, we learn the sacred habit of checking foundations. If you have been carrying too much, being strong without support, let your strength rest. You don't have to be armor in the dark. You can be soft. You can be held. You can let the inner beams recover. The mountain speaks through small cracks. Sometimes the first sign is a thin fracture line racing outward, like a quick sketch drawn on white paper. Those cracks are not only warnings, they are messages of truth. They say, something is tense here. Something is ready to move. Wise travelers step away from that message with gratitude, not embarrassment. They don't argue with the mountain. They listen and they live. In your own life, there may be small cracks too. Little moments where your patience thins, where your body aches, where your mind grows loud. They are not failures. They are signals asking for care. Tonight, you are listening. You are stepping back from the steepness. Let the cracks close in the warmth of stillness, and let your spirit settle like snow after wind. Forecasts are prayers written in data. Avalanche forecasts gather weather history, snowpack tests, and observations from those who walked before you that morning. They are not perfect, but they are gifts, humble maps drawn from many eyes. They remind us that survival is rarely solitary. Even on quiet slopes, we are helped by unseen hands, forecasters, patrollers, rescuers, guides, and strangers who share what they know. This is how mercy travels, through community, through attention, through honest words. Tonight, let that idea soothe you. You are not alone in the world's wilderness. Many good hearts have worked to make paths safer. And even in your personal storms, there have been quiet helpers, voices, lessons, small kindnesses. Let those memories drift in like soft snowfall. Let gratitude tuck you in. Terrain is your first and best rescue. Before tools, before skills, before bravado, the most powerful safety choice is terrain. Travelers learn to favor ridgelines over open bowls, dense trees over smooth faces, gentle angles over steep slabs. It is not cowardice. It is wisdom shaped like humility. Terrain does not require heroics, only patience. And in the language of sleep, terrain becomes your environment. A dim room, a comfortable posture, a gentle breath, a mind that chooses the low-risk route away from anxious spirals. Tonight, choose simple terrain. Let your thoughts take the ridgeline path. Steady, quiet, safe. Let your attention settle on something small and kind. The weight of your blanket, the rhythm of your chest. Let this be your shelter, built without noise. The most dangerous slope can look the most inviting. Fresh powder on a clean face can look like untouched grace. It glows under pale sun, smooth and pure, as if the mountain has laid out a welcome mat. But beauty is not the same as stability. Many tragedies begin with, "It looked perfect." The mountain is not cruel for being beautiful. It is simply vast, and it obeys its own physics. This is a tender truth for the heart as well. Some paths feel exciting, urgent, shiny, yet they lead to strain. Tonight, you don't need to chase what looks perfect. You can choose what is steady. You can choose what is gentle. Let your rest be simple, not impressive. Let it be like a quiet snowfield in the shade, unmoving, safe, and softly sacred. Group decisions can load a slope like weight. Avalanches do not only respond to one skier or one climber. Sometimes a whole group moves together, and the combined pressure becomes the trigger. The mountain doesn't single out individuals, it responds to total load. This teaches a quiet lesson about shared influence, how our choices affect one another, how we move in patterns, how momentum can carry people into risk. Wise teams spread out, pause, communicate, and refuse the rush of crowd energy. Tonight, let your inner crowd disperse. All the voices of obligation, performance, comparison, let them step apart and become quiet. You do not need to carry the weight of everyone's expectations in one moment. Let your mind spread out into stillness and feel how safety grows when pressure eases. Silence after a storm is not the same as safety. A blue sky can arrive the morning after heavy snowfall, and the world can look like it has been forgiven. But the snowpack may still be adjusting, settling, bonding, or failing quietly. Many accidents happen on clear days because the mind relaxes too quickly, trusting the beauty of calm weather. The mountain teaches patience. Let stability prove itself over time. Tonight, your mind might be doing something similar, trying to leap into certainty, trying to predict tomorrow, trying to solve life before sleep. But peace does not require prediction. Peace requires presence. Let the clear sky of this moment be enough. Let tomorrow wait outside the tent. Inside, only breath matters, only softness, only rest. A rescue beacon is hope you carry quietly. In Avalanche country, many travelers carry a transceiver, shovel, and probe, not because they expect disaster, but because love prepares. The beacon is a small pulse, a steady signal in the darkness, a promise that if the world shifts, searching hands have a path. It is one of the most humble kinds of hope, practical, quiet, faithful. And you can hold that hope tonight too. Perhaps your beacon is a simple routine, a prayer, a trusted friend, a practice of returning to breath when fear rises. Even if you never need it, it is comforting to know it is there. So let your inner beacon pulse softly now. Inhale, exhale, steady, steady, and let sleep find you, like a rescuer finds a signal. Patiently, gently, surely. As you listen, let your breathing become slow and even, like snow settling after wind. Imagine a wide, calm ridge under starlight. No steep edges, no rush, only quiet ground. Feel your body growing heavy in the safest way, as if gravity itself is tucking you in. You are allowed to pause here. You are allowed to be still. Nothing is demanded of you in this moment. Simply drift and let the wisdom of the mountain become a soft lamp in the mind, glowing low and warm. A gully can turn a small slide into a deep burial. Some places on a mountain are shaped like hands that scoop and hold. Gullies, creek beds, road cuts, and narrow depressions can gather moving snow the way a bowl gathers water. Even a modest avalanche can pile deeply there, pressing the air out of the world. This is why wise travelers avoid being downstream of steep slopes, especially in confined terrain. The mountain is teaching shape, not drama, how landforms quietly decide outcomes. And tonight, you may notice your own inner gullies, old thought grooves where worry collects. Be gentle. You don't have to walk into those narrow places now. Let your attention choose open ground, breath, stillness, safety, wide and calm enough for rest. Trees can protect, but they are not a promise. In many mountains, dense forests can interrupt avalanches, anchoring snow and breaking up slabs. Trees are like quiet guardians, their trunks holding the slope's wildness in place. Yet sparse trees, widely spaced, can become dangerous. Enough openness for a slide, and enough obstacles to injure. The lesson is subtle. Protection is real, but it must be complete to be reliable. Half shelter can deceive. And in life, too, there are things that feel like safety, but don't fully hold. Distractions that numb, habits that soothe briefly, courage that is really avoidance. Tonight, choose true shelter. Let your bed be the dense forest. Let your breath be the sturdy trunk. Let rest be complete. Morning and afternoon are different mountains. A slope can be stable at dawn and unstable by noon, especially when sunlight or warm air begins to soften the snowpack. The same face that felt firm in the morning can turn glossy and heavy later, the way ice becomes water under a patient flame. Many experienced travelers move early, return early, and treat timing like a sacred boundary. This is not fear, it is rhythm. It is living in harmony with the day's slow changes. Tonight, you are returning early too, in a way. You are stepping out of the day before it overheats your mind. Let the hours behind you cool and settle. Let the late night world be gentle. Breathe in, breathe out, and let your inner weather grow calm. Human urgency is often the hidden trigger. Sometimes the snowpack is dangerous, but the real pressure comes from inside the group. The long drive, the rare day off, the promise of perfect powder, the quiet pride that hates turning back. Urgency can make people hurry their checks, ignore small warning signs, and step onto slopes they would avoid on any other day. The mountain is not offended by ambition, but it does not bend for it. And neither does the body. Tonight, if you have been living with urgency, pushing, proving, chasing, let it loosen its grip. You don't have to earn sleep. You don't have to deserve rest. Lay urgency down like a pack beside a sleeping bag, and let your breathing become slow, steady, and kind. The sound of whoomph is the mountain's mercy. There are moments when snow speaks clearly, not with thunder, but with a soft, hollow settling. Whoomph, as if the slope exhales beneath your feet. It is the sound of a weak layer collapsing, the snowpack briefly rearranging its hidden vows. Many who survive avalanches remember this sound as a gift, because it arrives early, before the White River moves. Wise travelers don't argue with it. They step back, they breathe, they choose another way. And tonight, you may hear your own quiet signals too, not in your ears but in your body. A heaviness behind the eyes, a longing to stop thinking. Let it be mercy. Let it guide you toward stillness, toward home, toward sleep. A storm cycle is a chain of gentle warnings. Snow rarely arrives alone. It comes in cycles. One storm, then another, then wind, then cold, then a brief clearing that tempts the hopeful heart. In that cycle, the snowpack is constantly adjusting, like a choir learning a new song. Sometimes it harmonizes quickly. Sometimes it holds dissonance beneath the surface. In the mountains, people learn to respect the whole pattern, not just the last snowfall. They remember what came before, because memory is safety. And you too have weather patterns inside you. Busy weeks, emotional fronts, sleepless nights, sudden bright moments that don't mean everything is settled yet. Tonight, you don't have to force harmony. Simply rest. Let time do its slow bonding work, like snow crystals learning to hold one another. Turning back is one of the purest forms of courage. There are stories that never make headlines. The days when a group reaches the edge of an open bowl, feels the wind-loaded hush, notices the small cracks, and quietly chooses another route. No cheering crowd, no summit photo, just the soft dignity of living. Many guides say the mountain rewards humility not with glory, but with return. And that return is sacred. If you have ever turned back from something, an argument, a relationship, a dream that asked too much, it may have felt like loss. But sometimes turning back is protection disguised as disappointment. Tonight, let that truth bless you. You don't have to keep pushing into steep places. You can come back to yourself, to warmth, to breath, to rest. Some avalanches begin with sunlight, not storms. Not every slide is born from fresh snowfall. Sometimes the sky is clear, the world glittering, and the sun quietly warms a slope until the snow becomes heavy with water. Bonds loosening like tired hands, unclasping. In spring mountains, people travel early and leave early, respecting the hour when warmth changes character. There is a gentle reverence in that practice, like walking out of a chapel before the candles burn too low. And tonight, you can treat your own energy the same way. If the day has warmed you into exhaustion, you don't need to keep standing in it. Step into shade. Step into softness. Let your mind cool. Let your breathing deepen. Inhale, slow. Exhale, longer. And feel how peace gathers when you stop chasing the light. Wind slabs can feel like smooth glass beneath you. When strong winds sweep across ridgelines, they can pack snow tightly into firm, cohesive layers. Wind slabs, especially on the sheltered side of the mountain. These slabs often look inviting, clean, rounded, untouched, like a white sheet pulled tight. But their smoothness can be a mask. Beneath them, weaker snow may wait, and the slab can fracture wide and fast. This is why travelers learn to read subtle signs, pillowy drifts, hollow sounds, sharp edges where snow has been sculpted. The lesson is quiet. What feels easy is not always safe. Tonight, choose what is truly supportive. Let your bed be steady ground. Let your breath be the test that proves stability. You are allowed to trust what is gentle and real. A small test slope can reveal a larger truth. Sometimes, before crossing a big face, a careful traveler will step onto a small, similar slope, something low consequence, to see how the snow responds. It is not perfect science, but it is humble listening. Does the snow crack? Does it slide? Does it stay quiet? These small experiments are acts of respect, a way of asking permission rather than taking it. And you can practice that same humility with your mind tonight. Instead of demanding sleep, simply invite it. Offer small softness, relax the tongue, drop the shoulders, slow the breath. See what happens. Let sleep answer in its own time. You are not forcing the night. You are listening to it, like a traveler listening to snow. The angle that often matters lives in a narrow range. Many slab avalanches release most commonly on slopes steep enough for gravity to pull, but not so steep that snow constantly sloughs away. It is a narrow band of angle where snow can build and hold until it doesn't. The mountain teaches a delicate principle. Risk can gather in the middle, not only at extremes. This is why wise travelers keep paying attention even when they feel moderate. And in life too, the strain often hides in the in-between, when things are not terrible, but not truly restful either. Tonight, you can step out of that middle tension. You can choose full rest. Let your breathing be simple and complete, not half-held. Let your body sink fully into safety. A convex roll can be a breaking point. Where a slope bulges outward, like the curve of a wave, snow often becomes thinner and more stressed. These convexities concentrate tension, and fractures can begin there, shooting outward like a sudden crack in ice. Experienced travelers watch for these shapes, treating them as places where the snow is already holding its breath. The mountain speaks through geometry, and your body does too. There are places you carry tension, neck, jaw, chest, small convexities of stress where pressure gathers. Tonight, soften them gently. Uncurl the brow. Let the shoulders drop. Let the chest widen as if making room for peace. You do not need to hold your breath against life. You can let it out slowly and rest. An avalanche path is a memory etched into the land. Some slopes have long, obvious scars, open strips through trees, smooth runnels where snow and debris slide each year. These are avalanche paths, the mountain's repeated story, written in shape and absence. Even when they look calm, they carry a history of movement. Wise travelers learn to recognize these corridors and respect them, giving them space, crossing quickly if they must, never lingering below. The lesson is gentle but true. History leaves tracks, and in your inner world, you also have paths, old habits of worry, old corridors of fear. Tonight, you don't have to walk those routes again. You can choose a new line, slower, kinder, quieter. You can step into sleep like stepping off a dangerous path and feel how relief opens like a valley at dawn. A cornice fall can be the spark that wakes the slope. Cornices hang out over ridgelines like frozen lips of wind-built snow. They may look solid, even eternal, but they are often fragile and unpredictable. When they break, sometimes from warmth, sometimes from weight, sometimes for no clear reason, they crash onto the slope below with the force of a sudden drumbeat, and that impact can trigger a slab avalanche beneath. The danger is not always where your feet are. Sometimes it is above, unseen. And tonight, in the quiet of your room, you can release what hangs over you. The overhanging worries, the weight of what might happen tomorrow. Let them fall away into nothing. You are safe here. Breathe in, and let the ridge of your mind become clean and calm. Tracks on a slope do not prove stability. Many tragedies happen on slopes that already have. Tracks, ski lines like signatures across the face. It is easy for the mind to think, others went. It must be safe. But snow can be fickle. The first person may have crossed at a lucky moment, or on a different line, or simply without hitting the weak spot. A slope can hold 10 times and fail on the 11th. The mountain teaches a quiet humility. Do not borrow confidence from footprints. Test your own ground. And in life, don't measure your peace by what others seem to handle. Tonight, you don't need to keep up. You can slow down completely. Let your own breath be the only track that matters. Steady, gentle, yours. A narrow ridge can be safer than a broad bowl. Wide open bowls can tempt the eye, smooth, spacious, dramatic. But they also collect wind-loaded snow and offer few safe islands once you commit. Ridges, by contrast, often have scoured, thinner snow and clearer escape options. Experienced travelers choose ridges not because they lack imagination, but because they love life. They choose the line that allows return. Tonight, your ridge is simplicity. Don't wander deep into the bowl of endless thought. Stay on the firm spine of the present moment. Feel the contact of your body with the bed. Hear the quiet of the room. Let your attention be a ridge walk, slow, balanced, safe, until sleep arrives like a soft cloud around your shoulders. Dense trees can anchor snow like prayer beads. In thick forest, trunks and branches interrupt wind, shade the snow, and provide countless anchors that break up slabs. The snow there often feels calmer, more settled, as if the whole slope is held in many small hands. Travelers call this good terrain, and they treat it like a refuge. There is something devotional in it, how many little supports create safety. Tonight, imagine your own supports. The mattress beneath you, the wall of your room, the roof above, the quiet technologies of warmth and shelter. Let them feel like prayer beads in the dark, one after another, holding you steady. You are supported more than you remember. Let that realization soften your heart and slow your breathing. The snow settles, but it does not hurry. After a storm, the snowpack begins its slow work, flakes sintering together, layers compressing, bonds strengthening over time. This settling is gradual, patient, almost invisible. It cannot be rushed by desire. It happens on the mountain's schedule, not ours. And this is a mercy, because it teaches us to respect natural timing. Tonight, sleep is the same. It cannot be demanded like a deadline. It comes when the body trusts the night enough to let go. So don't chase it. Don't grip it. Just settle. Feel your muscles melting one small degree at a time. Let the day compress into quietness. Let the bonds of calm strengthen in their own gentle hour. A cliff band below can make any slide unforgiving. Even a small avalanche can become deadly if it carries someone into rocks, trees, or steep drop-offs. Terrain traps, cliffs, boulders, gullies turn movement into impact. Wise travelers look not only at the slope above, but at what waits below. They ask, if it slides, where will I go? This is not morbid. It is loving attention. And tonight, you can ask a kinder version. If my thoughts slide, where will they take me? If they pull you toward regret, fear, or restless planning, gently choose another route. Bring your mind back to something safe and simple. Inhale, exhale, the slow tide of breath. Let your inner terrain become forgiving, soft, and free of sharp edges. Snowpack tests are small conversations with the mountain. In avalanche terrain, people dig snow pits, study layers, isolate columns, and tap gently to see how the pack reacts. These tests are not about controlling the mountain. They are about listening to it. They are a way of asking, "How are you today?" And the mountain answers through fractures, sheer and collapse, or through quiet strength. Tonight, you can do a soft test with yourself. Ask, how am I today? Not as judgment, but as tenderness. Notice what feels heavy. Notice what feels relieved. And then, without needing to fix anything, offer yourself permission to rest. Let the answer be simple. You are here, you are safe, and you are allowed to drift. As you listen, imagine a gentle snowfall outside a warm shelter. Silent flakes settling without urgency. Let your breathing match that pace. Slow, soft, unforced. With every exhale, feel your body sink deeper into comfort, like a sleeping traveler burrowing into a snow cave lined with quiet peace. You do not need to stay alert tonight. You do not need to keep watch over the whole world. Let the night watch for you, and let your mind rest its head on stillness. Recent avalanches can be silent warnings written in debris. When you see old slide paths, fresh fracture lines, broken branches, piles of hard snow like shattered pottery, it is the mountain showing you what it did yesterday, or even an hour ago. Debris is history you can touch. It means the snowpack has already proven it can move, and it may still be tense enough to move again. Wise travelers don't treat recent avalanches as distant drama. They treat them as living information, like smoke that says there is fire somewhere nearby. And in your own life, you can also learn from recent slides, moments when you felt overwhelmed, snapped, or shut down. They are not shame. They are information. Tonight, let that information lead you toward gentleness. Let it guide you away from steep thinking and into soft, quiet rest. The first big avalanche accidents taught the world to organize mercy. Long before modern gear, avalanches still came, sudden as a door closing in wind. In the early 20th century, rail workers and mountain towns faced disasters that took many lives at once, reminding everyone that snow can be both beautiful and merciless. Out of those losses grew something tender, systems of care. Patrols, warnings, training, and the steady discipline of rescue teams who practice in quiet hours so they can respond in desperate ones. The mountain's harsh lessons became a reason to build community. Tonight, hold that softly. Even when the world breaks, people gather to mend. Somewhere, someone is always choosing to help. Let that knowledge settle in your chest like warm tea. You are not alone in the storm of life. A beacon search is a hymn of time and breath. When an avalanche happens, rescuers move with urgency, yet also with calm, because panic wastes seconds, and seconds are sacred. A transceiver search becomes a kind of prayer, listening for the strongest signal, narrowing the grid, lowering the head close to snow, letting the beep guide the hands. Probe strikes come next, patient, rhythmic, until the snow gives an answer. Then shovels move fast, not wild, carving carefully to reach air. Many survivors speak of the moment they heard voices above them, as if it were dawn entering a sealed world. Tonight, take that as comfort. If you ever feel buried under weight, tasks, sadness, fear, remember that steady searching exists. Breathe in, breathe out, and let your own breath be the first rescuer, bringing you back to calm. Sometimes the safest path is the one that feels less exciting. In avalanche country, the most dramatic line is rarely the wisest. The open bowl, the steep face, the fast descent. It calls to pride like a bright banner in wind. But the quiet route, through trees, along a ridge, on gentle terrain, often leads to something holier than adrenaline. It leads to return. Many disasters begin when people confuse intensity with meaning. The mountain does not ask for intensity, it asks for respect. And tonight, your soul does not need intensity either. You don't need to replay every conversation, solve every future, or prove your strength by staying awake. Choose the gentle route now. Let your thoughts drift into the safer trees of stillness. Let your body sink into simple, faithful sleep. An avalanche chain is rarely one single cause. Most slides are not born from one villain. They are born from a chain. Snowfall loading layers, wind sculpting slabs, cold forming weak crystals, warmth loosening bonds, terrain shaping consequences, and human choices adding the final touch. The chain is quiet, linking one small factor to the next like beads on a cord. This is why humility is so important. You can do many things right and still be caught if the chain is complete. The mountain teaches us not to blame ourselves harshly, but to learn gently. And in life, your hardest days are rarely one single thing. They are a chain too. Stress, fatigue, expectation, old wounds, poor timing. Tonight, you can let the chain unclasp. You can rest without needing to pinpoint one cause. Let your breath be enough. The wind can load a slope in minutes. A quiet ridge can become dangerous quickly when wind begins to move snow like grain from one bowl to another. In just an hour, it can build drifts thick as a blanket, creating new slabs that were not there at dawn. This is why mountain travelers watch the sky with reverence, not only for storms, but for wind direction, speed, and the way spindrift pours off peaks like smoke. The lesson is gentle. Conditions can change faster than our plans. And tonight, you are allowed to stop planning. You are allowed to release the illusion of control. The world will shift as it must, but you can choose one steady thing: rest. Let your breathing be your anchor, constant, quiet, while the winds of life pass harmlessly overhead. Snow bridges hide hollowness beneath beauty. In winter mountains, snow can span over creeks, holes, and gaps, forming bridges that look solid until weight finds the empty space below. A traveler might step onto what seems like ground and suddenly fall into cold darkness. This is why people probe, choose known routes, and respect unseen voids. There is a spiritual echo here. Some parts of life look stable but are hollow. Habits that pretend to support, relationships that don't hold, beliefs that crack under weight. Tonight, you don't need to test those bridges. You can stand on something real, the bed beneath you, the room around you, the slow truth of breath. Let your mind step carefully into softness, and let sleep be firm ground. The obvious line can be the wrong line. In white terrain, the eye loves simplicity. The smoothest face, the cleanest gully, the direct route. But avalanches often favor those same clean lines because snow collects there and gravity has a clear path. Experienced travelers learn to distrust the obvious and seek the subtle. The rib between gullies, the low-angle bench, the protected ridge that seems slower but is safer. Life teaches the same. The obvious choice, more work, more pushing, more proving, often feels direct. But the safer choice is sometimes slower, quieter, humbler. Tonight, choose the subtle path, not the direct line into worry, but the gentle detour into calm. Let your thoughts take the protected ridge of stillness and feel how peace widens. A partner's voice can be the strongest safety tool. In avalanche terrain, communication is not decoration, it is survival. Partners call out, confirm plans, point to hazards, and speak up when something feels wrong. Many disasters include a moment when someone had doubt and stayed silent. Many survivors include a moment when someone spoke softly, changed the route, This is love in action, courage to voice care. And tonight, you can be your own partner, your own gentle guide. Speak softly inside. It's okay, we can rest now. If worry rises, answer it with kindness. If your mind tries to roam, call it back like a friend in the fog. The voice you use matters. Let it be calm. Let it be warm. Let it lead you to sleep. The heart chains time, and time is humility. Many avalanches are not simply about snow or slope or wind, but about when. A dangerous layer can exist for days, quiet and waiting, until the moment it is loaded just enough, warmed just enough, stepped on just right. Timing is the hidden hinge. This is why wise travelers move slowly, pause often, and refuse the spell of urgency. They treat each hour like a different mountain, and life is like that too. Sometimes the same decision is safe in one season and heavy in another. Tonight, you don't have to time anything perfectly. You don't have to make the right move. You only have to rest and let humility become your soft shelter. And now, let the middle of our journey open like a quiet clearing in the snow. Let your breathing lengthen, as if you are exhaling warm air into cold night, watching it drift away like a pale cloud. Feel your body heavy and protected, as if you are wrapped in a sleeping bag stitched from calm. If thoughts arrive, let them pass like distant headlamps on a far ridge, seen but not followed. You don't have to conquer summits tonight. You are here to rest. You don't have to solve the avalanche chain of tomorrow's worries or dig through the layers of what-ifs. You are allowed to be still and to trust that stillness is not laziness, but wisdom. Even the mountains rest. Even the snow, after wind and storm, settles into quiet. Imagine a small, steady lantern inside your chest. Low flame, gentle glow. Each inhale brightens it slightly. Each exhale smooths the glass around it. No rush, no proofing, just warmth. Let that lantern light the inside of your ribs, the inside of your throat, the inside of your forehead, where tension likes to gather. Let the light soften everything. And if there is any part of you that feels buried, under effort, under expectation, under the weight of days, let that part hear this. You are not alone down there. Breath is already reaching you. Peace is already searching for you. The night is not a test. It is a refuge. So settle deeper now. Let the muscles in your face loosen. Let the tongue rest. Let the shoulders melt toward the mattress like snow returning to earth. Rescue begins with calm hands and clear steps. When the unthinkable happens and snow moves, the survivors who help most are often the ones who stay steady. They breathe, they listen, they search with method instead of panic. Calm becomes a kind of rope, something others can hold on to. In many true rescues, the difference is not strength alone, but composure, a practiced rhythm, a gentle voice, a mind that stays present. This is a quiet holiness in the human spirit, and you can feel it tonight too. You can let your own hands unclench. You can let your mind become clear and simple. Nothing is chasing you here. Only rest is approaching, softly, patiently, like dawn finding the edge of a sleeping mountain. Shoveling is the quiet labor of love. In avalanche rescue, the beacon may find the place, and the probe may confirm it. But the shovel is what brings air back to someone's world. Snow debris sets up like concrete, heavy, tight, unforgiving to hurried hands. Rescuers learn to shovel with rhythm, often from the downhill side, carving a path that protects the buried person's chest and face. It is exhausting work, yet many describe it as sacred. because every scoop is a promise. Tonight, let that image soothe you. Love is often not loud. It is steady effort in the dark. Breathe slowly, and let your own heart be the shovel that clears space for peace. The first 15 minutes are precious, and so is preparation. In Avalanche country, time matters. That is why partners practice transceiver searches before the day begins. Why gear is checked. Why routines become almost prayerful. Preparation is not pessimism. It is reverence for life. Many who survive disasters say the rescue began long before the slide, in the quiet choices that seemed ordinary. Carrying the right tools, spacing out, speaking up, turning back. There is a gentle lesson here for your own nights. The way you prepare for sleep. Dim lights, softer breath, kinder thoughts, makes room for peace to arrive sooner. Tonight, you are already preparing, and that is enough. Let yourself drift with gratitude. A near miss can become a lifelong teacher. Some people have stood on a slope, felt the soft whoomp, watched a crack race outward, and stepped back in time, heart pounding, but alive. Later, they speak of the moment with quiet awe, not as a trophy, but as a turning point. They become gentler with risk. They become more grateful for ordinary mornings. They become devoted to learning and sharing, so others may be spared. The mountain, in its stern beauty, can leave gifts like this. Wisdom without injury, humility without loss. Tonight, let your own near misses, times you almost fell apart, times you almost gave up, become teachers, not wounds. You are still here. Rest now and let survival become peace. Stability can return, but it returns slowly. After danger, the snowpack often heals in stages. Layers settle, bonds strengthen, weak crystals round off, and the mountain grows quieter again. It doesn't happen with one clear signal. It happens with time, patience, and continued listening. This is why wise travelers keep checking, even after a calm day or two. They respect the slow return of trust. Your inner life works the same way. If you have been through storms, emotional, physical, spiritual, stability may come back gradually, like dawn moving inch by inch across a valley. Tonight, you don't have to rush that dawn. Let rest do its slow work. Let peace rebuild you gently. The greatest skill is choosing simplicity when the world is complex. Avalanche terrain can feel like a maze of variables. Wind, sun, layers, angles, time of day, group energy, hidden traps. The most experienced guides often return to simple truths. Avoid steep-loaded slopes. Choose forgiving terrain. Keep spacing. Communicate, and turn back early when signs speak. Simplicity becomes a lantern. And tonight, simplicity can hold you too. You don't need to analyze every thought. You don't need to trace every worry to its source. Choose one simple practice. Inhale slowly. Exhale longer. Feel the bed supporting you. Let the night be uncomplicated. Let sleep come like soft snow. Quiet, steady, kind. Avalanche paths can be ancient, repeating the same story. Some slopes have slid for centuries. The trees grow differently there. The ground shows old scars, and the land itself seems to remember where it likes to move. Even when the snow looks gentle, the path is still a path, shaped by repetition. Wise travelers learn the humility of recognizing patterns that are older than their plans. And in life, you may also have repeating paths, old reactions, old fears, old loops the mind returns to when tired. Tonight, you don't have to walk them. You can notice them without entering. Let the pattern exist without controlling you. Choose a new line. the line of rest, the line of softness, the line of breathing that leads you out of old corridors and into quiet, open ground. A calm voice can prevent panic from becoming a second disaster. In real avalanche incidents, survivors often say the most helpful person was the one who spoke steadily. Not loud, not frantic, just clear and calm. Naming steps, counting seconds, guiding hands. Panic spreads fast, like fracture in a slab. Calm spreads too, like warmth through gloves. This is a wholly human gift, to be steady when the world shakes. Tonight, let that calm voice be mine, and let it also become yours. Speak gently inside. It's okay. You are safe. You can rest. Let your nervous system hear the message. Feel your heartbeat slow, your breath deepen, your thoughts soften. Let calm be contagious in your body. Even professionals respect the mountains' no. Ski patrollers, guides, forecasters, people with training and experience still cancel routes, close terrain, and choose waiting over action. They do not treat the mountain as something to conquer. They treat it as something to honor. A closed sign, a delayed plan, a postponed dream. These can feel frustrating, but they can also be grace. Tonight, if life has given you a no lately, an obstacle, a delay, a door that didn't open, hold it gently. It may have been protection. It may have been timing. You don't need to force anything open in the dark. Let the night be a peaceful closure, and let your body rest behind it, safe and unbothered. Safety margins are like extra warmth in a sleeping bag. In avalanche decision-making, travelers talk about margins, choosing terrain that is not just probably safe, but clearly forgiving. Spacing out, one at a time crossings, avoiding terrain traps, turning back when uncertain. These are margins, extra layers of protection. They may feel slow, but they are comfort, like adding an extra blanket when the temperature might drop. Tonight, give yourself a margin too. Let yourself sleep a little earlier than you should. Let your mind stop working before it is fully satisfied. You don't have to squeeze every ounce from the day. Wrap yourself in extra gentleness. Let your breath be the margin that keeps you warm. As you listen, imagine a wide, quiet snowfall settling over a dark forest. Each flake lands without argument, and the world grows softer with every minute. Let your breathing follow that softness. Slow in, slower out. Feel your eyelids grow heavy like warm stones by a river. You are safe here. You are allowed to drift. Let the lessons of the mountain become a lullaby, and let the night carry you further into rest. The most reliable compass is often your doubt. In avalanche terrain, a small, uneasy feeling can be the truest signal, an inner pause that notices what the eyes might miss. Many survivors say they had a feeling, but talked themselves out of it because the sky was blue, because others were excited, because turning back felt embarrassing. The mountain teaches us to honor doubt as wisdom, not weakness. Doubt is sometimes your spirit saying, slow down. Tonight, that gentle doubt can become comfort. If any part of you doubts you can sleep, don't fight it. Just slow. Let the doubt soften into permission. You don't have to force anything. You can rest in the space between effort and surrender, and let sleep arrive quietly, like snow falling without sound. A fracture line can travel faster than thought. When a slab releases, the crack can shoot across the slope in an instant, sometimes far beyond where the trigger touched. This is one reason avalanche danger feels so unfair. Cause and effect can be separated by distance. The mountain reminds us that systems are connected and tension can spread. In the human heart, worry does something similar. One small thought can fracture into many, racing outward until the whole mind feels unstable. Tonight, you can stop the fracture early by choosing softness at the first crack. When a worry appears, meet it with a long exhale. Let the breath interrupt the chain. Let calm travel faster than fear. One slow breath now, and another, and feel the mind settle again. Many avalanches start on the lee side, where snow is piled unseen. Wind does more than blow, it deposits. On the sheltered side of ridges, the lee side, snow can stack deeply, forming slabs that look smooth and innocent. Meanwhile, the windward side may be scoured down to firm, safer snow. This contrast can be dramatic, yet invisible to the untrained eye. The mountain teaches discernment. What's hidden matters. And in life, what's hidden matters too. Unspoken stress, silent exhaustion, private grief. Tonight, you can stop pretending those hidden weights don't exist. You can acknowledge them gently without diving into them. Let the night hold your unseen burdens like a quiet valley holds fog. You are allowed to be tender with what you carry. Snow can bond, but only when it's given time and stillness. After storms, snow begins to sinter, crystals fusing at contact points, strengthening like hands, clasping after a long separation. It's slow work. Loud movement doesn't help it. It needs calm, it needs time. This is why waiting is often the wisest choice after heavy snowfall. And you too need bonding time. Your nervous system bonds back to safety when it is not rushed. Tonight, allow stillness to be medicine. Let your body bond to the bed. Let your breath bond to quiet. Let your thoughts bond to gentleness. Sleep is not something you force. It is something your inner world builds, crystal by crystal, in peace. True experts speak in probabilities, not promises. Forecasters and guides rarely say safe as a guarantee. They speak in likelihoods, in conditions, in careful language shaped by humility. Because the mountain is too complex for absolute certainty. This is not weakness. It is honesty. It is respect. And tonight, you can practice that respect toward yourself. You don't have to promise you'll be perfect tomorrow. You don't have to guarantee you'll have it all figured out. You can live in gentler language. I'll do what I can. I'll take the next step. I'll rest now. Let that be enough. Let your body soften as the pressure of certainty releases. An avalanche dog's work is a kind of devotion. Search dogs move through debris with focus that feels almost sacred. Nose down, tail steady, trained to find life where snow tries to hide it. Handlers watch closely, trusting the animal's quiet intelligence. When a dog signals, hope becomes specific, and hands begin to dig. There are stories of dogs finding someone barely in time, turning tragedy into breath again. Tonight, let this image comfort you. Even when life buries you, there are devoted forces that search. Love, community, memory, grace. And inside you too, there is a searching instinct for peace. Let it lead you towards sleep, gently, faithfully, step by step. Mountains teach you to value the return more than the peak. Summits are dramatic, but the return is holy. Many avalanche survivors say the moment that changed them wasn't a view from above. It was walking back into camp, hearing a zipper, feeling warm tea, realizing they were still alive. In the quiet after danger, ordinary things become luminous. Tonight, you don't need a summit moment. You need the ordinary miracle. Your bed, your breath, your safe room, your chance to rest. Let gratitude rise softly, not as effort, but as warmth. You made it back to this night. You can let yourself sleep. The mountain's beauty is not a guarantee, but it is still a gift. Snowfields under moonlight can look like silver oceans. Peaks can glow like cathedral spires. Silence can feel like a blessing poured over the world. And yet, beauty does not promise safety. The mountain can be both gift and hazard like fire, warming and powerful. The mature heart learns to hold beauty with reverence instead of entitlement. Tonight, hold your own life that way. Your life is beautiful, even if it is complex. You don't need to control it to appreciate it. Let beauty exist without demanding certainty. Let your breath be a simple appreciation. In, out, like a quiet hymn. A single tree can be a safe island in moving snow. In some slides, survivors have clung to a tree, wrapped arms around a trunk, and stayed above the moving debris long enough to live. A tree becomes an anchor, a fixed point in chaos. This image is gentle for the mind. You can choose an anchor too. Tonight, let your anchor be the slow exhale. Every time the mind tries to move, wrap your attention around breath, like arms around a sturdy trunk. Feel the steadiness. Feel the unmoving support. You are not required to tumble with every thought. You can stay attached to calm. Survival often looks like quiet cooperation. After avalanches, people share shovels, share gloves, share heat, share words. They take turns digging. They watch one another for shock. They move together, not as heroes on posters, but as humans in need of one another. This is the enduring spirit. Not just endurance alone, but endurance together. Tonight, even if you are listening alone, you are part of that human circle. Across the world, other hearts are also trying to rest, to heal, to breathe through their storms. Let that shared humanity comfort you. Let it lower your shoulders. Let it soften your face. And let the night gather you into sleep as gently as snow gathers on a quiet roof. As you listen, let your breathing become even slower, like a lantern flame settling when the wind dies. Picture a sheltered grove of trees under starlight, still, protected, endlessly calm. Feel the weight of your body sinking into the bed, safe and supported. You do not need to hold the world up tonight. You can release it, one breath at a time, and drift deeper into peace. A quiet pause can break the chain before it completes. In avalanche decisions, a single pause, stopping to look, to listen, to reassess, can be the difference between a safe day and a sorrowful one. The chain is built from momentum, one choice leading to the next, speed disguising risk. But a pause interrupts momentum, like a hand gently closing a book. Many survivors speak of a moment when someone said, "Let's stop for a minute," and the whole day changed. Tonight, let that pause be here. You have stopped. You have chosen rest. Breathe in slowly, and breathe out even more slowly. Feel how the chain of racing thoughts loosens when you pause. There is nothing you need to prove in this moment. Many avalanche tragedies begin with familiarity. People are often caught not in unknown wilderness, but on slopes they have skied before, routes they have walked many times. Familiarity can make the mind sleepy in the wrong way. Trusting for such short place instead of the conditions, the mountain teaches, today is not yesterday, even if the path is the same. And your life is like that too. The same routine, the same responsibilities, the same conversations can feel safe, until a new layer of stress changes everything. Tonight, you don't have to carry familiarity like a blindfold. You can carry it like a blanket, comforting, soft, not controlling. Let this night be new. Let this breath be new. Let your body be allowed to rest as if it is the first time you have ever been truly safe. Avalanche education is learning to see what most eyes miss. Training teaches people to notice subtle clues, wind patterns, recent storm totals, temperature swings, slope angles, terrain traps. It's not about fear, it's about awareness that protects joy. The better you see, the more peacefully you can travel. This is wisdom without tension. Tonight, awareness can also protect joy. Notice what your body needs. Notice where you hold tightness. Notice what calms you. You don't have to analyze. You only have to observe with kindness. Let your jaw soften. Let your eyelids rest heavy. Let your breath deepen, like a quiet teacher guiding you toward sleep. In whiteouts, slow is faster than lost. When storms swallow visibility, rushing can turn simple terrain into confusion. People get disoriented, step onto steeper angles without realizing, or wander into gullies where snow gathers deep. In these moments, survival is often slow movement, deliberate, careful, humble. The mountain teaches a gentle truth. Speed is not always strength. Tonight, if your mind feels like a whiteout, thoughts swirling, clarity thin, choose slow. Don't chase solutions. Don't sprint towards certainty. Just breathe. In, out, in, out. Let slow become your way home. Sleep is not a finish line you run toward. It is a shelter you arrive at softly. A headlamp beam teaches you to live one step at a time. On winter nights, travelers walk with only a small circle of light ahead, just enough for the next few steps. The rest remains dark, but that darkness is not an enemy. It is simply unknown. The beam teaches humility. You don't need to see the whole route to keep moving safely. Tonight, apply that to your life. You don't need to see next month, next year, next decade. You only need this breath, this moment, this safe bed. Let the circle of attention be small and warm. Feel how peace grows when you stop demanding full visibility. Let your mind rest in the dark without fear. True stories of loss become lanterns for others. Avalanche disasters leave grief, yes, but they also leave lessons that save lives later. Communities remember names, rebuild practices, share warnings, improve forecasts, and teach new travelers with gentleness. The sorrow becomes a lantern, not as exploitation, but as reverent learning. May this not be repeated. In your own life, hardships can also become lanterns. Quiet wisdom that makes you kinder, more careful, more grateful. Tonight, you don't need to relive pain. Just honor what it taught you. You are human. You need rest. You deserve softness. Let the lantern glow low, not bright enough to wake you, just enough to reassure you as you drift. A snow cave is built from patience, not force. In emergencies, people sometimes dig into snow to create shelter. It is slow work, but snow is an incredible insulator when shaped wisely. The cave must be smooth inside, so drips don't form, small enough to trap warmth, and quiet enough to let breath settle. It becomes a womb of survival, cold outside, gentle inside. Tonight, your bed is your snow cave. Your blankets are your carved walls. Your slow breathing is the warmth that fills the small space. You don't need to fight the world from here. You are sheltered. You can let your body recover as if the night itself is insulating you from every sharp wind. Even in rescue, hope stays practical. Hope in Avalanche country is not wishful thinking. It is doing the next right thing, searching systematically, probing carefully, shoveling with rhythm, preventing hypothermia, calling for help, keeping everyone accounted for. Practical hope is humble. It doesn't pretend. It acts. And tonight, your practical hope is simple. Resting. Sleep is not escapism. It is repair. It is the next right thing your body needs. So let yourself do it. Let your breath remain steady. Let your mind stop demanding proof. Rest is a faithful action, and it is enough. The mountain rewards those who respect the maybe. Sometimes conditions aren't clearly dangerous or clearly safe. They are uncertain, maybe stable, maybe touchy, maybe changing. In these times, wise travelers treat maybe as a signal to choose lower risk terrain. They don't gamble with steepness. They honor uncertainty like a sacred boundary. Tonight, if your heart feels uncertain about decisions, relationships, the future, let maybe be your permission to rest. You do not have to resolve uncertainty at midnight. You can set it down and sleep beside it, like a pack left outside the tent. The morning can hold maybe again. For now, you hold only breath. A calm descent is a kind of gratitude. After a safe day, coming down gently, without rushing, without careless shortcuts, is an act of respect. Many accidents happen on the way back, when relief makes people sloppy. But a calm descent says, I am thankful to be alive, and I will honor that gift. Tonight, your descent is into sleep. Take it slowly. Let your thoughts loosen. Let your breathing stretch longer. Let your body sink deeper, as if descending into warm, quiet layers. You are not falling. You are arriving, and the night is receiving you with open hands. As you listen, let your breathing become a soft metronome, steady, patient, kind. Picture a small headlamp glowing in a snow cave, the light reflecting gently off smooth walls. Outside, the storm cannot touch you. Inside, everything is calm. With each exhale, feel yourself drift farther into safety, farther into quiet, farther into sleep. Snow can be heavy like stone when it stops moving. Avalanche debris is not like fresh powder. It settles hard, packed by the violence of motion, locking together into a dense mass that can feel like concrete. Survivors describe trying to breathe and finding the snow pressing their chest, stealing the space where air should be. Rescuers know this weight, which is why they move with urgency and method. But tonight, we hold this truth gently, not to stir fear, but to honor how precious breath is. Your breath is free right now. It is flowing like a clear spring. So breathe slowly, with gratitude, in and out. Let each breath be a blessing you don't have to earn. Let it remind your body that it is safe, and that the night is here to comfort you, not to test you. The best rescue is the one that never has to happen. Avalanche safety is not mainly about heroics after a slide. It is about humility before it, choosing safer terrain, turning back when signs speak, spacing out, avoiding traps, respecting the forecast. Quiet prevention saves more lives than dramatic rescue. This is the mountain's gentle wisdom. The greatest victory is returning without needing a miracle. And in your life, too, prevention can be sacred. Resting before you break, speaking kindly before conflict grows, slowing down before your mind becomes a storm. Tonight, sleep is prevention. It is healing before harm. So let yourself take this humble victory. Let the night cover you like protective snowfall, soft and kind. Avalanches often follow the lines of least resistance. Snow moves where it can, down gullies, through open glades, over smooth rock slabs. It chooses channels that guide it, like riverbeds guide water. This is why terrain reading matters, to see where energy will go if released, and the mind behaves similarly. Thoughts slide into familiar grooves, old worries, old comparisons, old regrets, because they are the easiest channels. Tonight, you can change the channel by choosing a gentler groove. Bring attention to the breath. Feel the rise and fall of your chest. Listen to the quiet of the room. These are new riverbeds, leading not to worry, but to calm. Let your mind follow the path of least resistance into sleep. A single no can save an entire group. In Avalanche stories, there are moments when one person speaks up, quietly, firmly, and changes the outcome. I don't like this slope. Let's go around. Let's turn back. That simple refusal can break the chain. It is not selfish. It is love. It protects the whole group from the momentum of excitement. Tonight, you can offer yourself that same protective no. No to overthinking. No to replaying conversations. No to solving tomorrow. Let it be gentle, not harsh. Just a soft boundary that keeps you safe. Then breathe. Let the boundary hold. Let the mind relax against it, like snow settling against a windbreak. The body remembers cold, and it also remembers warmth. After exposure, hands can shake, thoughts can slow, and the nervous system can stay alert long after danger has passed. The body keeps notes, but the body also remembers warmth, the relief of shelter, the comfort of dry layers, the steadiness of a safe voice. In survival, rewarming is patient. Warm drinks, gradual heat, careful care. Tonight, you are rewarming. Maybe not from literal snow, but from the chill of stress and effort. Let your bed be your shelter. Let your blanket be your dry layer. Let your breathing be your warm drink. Feel your body remembering safety again, cell by cell, like sunrise returning to a frozen valley. Mountains teach patience more than they teach speed. People often arrive in the high country dreaming of quick progress, bold lines, fast descents. But the mountains reshape that desire. They teach waiting out storms. They teach moving only when conditions allow. They teach that the fastest way is sometimes to stop, to shelter, to let nature finish its work. This patience is not passive. It is intelligent. It is reverent. Tonight, practice that mountain patience. Don't rush sleep. Don't chase it. Let it come at its own pace. Your only job is to soften. Inhale slowly. Exhale longer. And feel how patience becomes a cradle. Gratitude can be an anchor as strong as rope. Many who survive avalanches speak afterward with a new tenderness for friends, for food, for ordinary mornings, for the simple act of walking. Gratitude becomes a kind of anchor, keeping them from wasting their second chance on frantic living. Tonight, you can borrow that anchor without needing a disaster. You can feel gratitude for breath, for shelter, for the quiet privilege of resting. This gratitude does not need to be loud. It can be a whisper inside. Thank you. And as you whisper it, feel your body relax. Gratitude softens the nervous system. It tells the heart it is safe. It invites sleep. A winter night is not empty. It is full of quiet life. Under snow, small creatures move through tunnels. Trees creak gently. Wind combs ridges like a slow hand. Stars keep watch without blinking. The mountain at night is not dead. It is simply hushed, like a chapel after the hymn. This is why many travelers feel something sacred up high after dark, a sense of being small and held. Tonight, let your room become that chapel. Let silence be your hymn. Let darkness be your gentle roof. You are held by the night, by the world, by the simple rhythm of breath. Let that holding deepen until you drift. Surviving is not only living, it is learning how to live softer. The hardest lesson many survivors carry is not about gear or technique, but about priorities. They learn to value people over peaks, return over ego, quiet over rush. They learn to speak love more often. They learn to rest when rest is available. Tonight, you are practicing that softer living. You are choosing restoration. You are choosing peace. Even if no one sees this choice, it matters. The human spirit grows strong, not only by climbing, but by knowing when to lie down and heal. The chain breaks when humility becomes your guide. Avalanche safety is ultimately a practice of humility, accepting uncertainty, respecting nature's power, choosing margins, turning back, listening to signs. Humility breaks the chain before it tightens, and humility is deeply restful. It lets you stop wrestling with what you cannot control. Tonight, let humility guide you into sleep. You don't need to manage the whole future. You don't need to carry every outcome. Let go. Let the breath carry you. Let the night hold the rest. As you listen, let your breathing slow until it feels like a quiet tide in the dark. Imagine a warm shelter at the edge of a snowfield. The world outside still and blue. The world inside soft and safe. Feel your thoughts growing fewer, like stars fading behind thin cloud. You are allowed to disappear into rest for a while. You are allowed to sleep. After the slide, the world becomes very small. Survivors often say that when snow moves, everything narrows to essentials: air, light, voice, warmth, direction. The wide world collapses into a few sacred needs, and in that narrowing, many discover what matters most. Not ego, not speed, not applause, just breath, and the hope of returning to someone's arms, to a cup of warmth, to a quiet morning. Tonight, let your world become small in the most peaceful way. Let it narrow to the simple: the bed beneath you, the blanket over you, the breath moving in and out. Nothing else is required right now. In this smallness, peace can finally enter, like a soft lamp lit in a dark cabin. A rescuer's gratitude is often wordless. Those who dig others out of snow sometimes speak afterward with few words. The work was too intimate, too raw, too holy for performance. They remember hands numb in cold, breath steaming, a beacon's steady pulse, the moment a face emerged and coughed air back into life. Gratitude arrives like quiet tears, not speeches. This is the human spirit, capable of fierce care, capable of tenderness under pressure. Tonight, you don't need dramatic gratitude, just a quiet sense of being thankful that you are here. Feel your heartbeat, feel your lungs. Let that be enough. Let that wordless gratitude soften your mind until it becomes sleep. The mountain does not hate you, it simply remains itself. Avalanches can feel personal when they take someone we love. But the mountain is not a villain with intention. It is a vast creation, obeying gravity, weather, and time. This truth is strangely comforting. It means we are not cursed. We are simply living in a real world where power exists. And in a real world, wisdom matters. Tonight, let this relieve you of a hidden burden, the burden of thinking everything is aimed at you. Many difficulties are not punishments. They are conditions, and conditions can change. You can rest now without carrying a story of blame. Let the night be neutral and kind. Let it hold you gently, like snow holding moonlight. Memorials in the mountains are small altars of love. In Avalanche country, you sometimes find crosses, plaques, or simple cairns, stones stacked with care, marking where someone was lost. These are not there to frighten travelers. They are there to remember. They are love made visible. They say, a life mattered here, and they quietly teach the living to move with reverence. Tonight, you can build a small altar in your heart, too. Not of sorrow, but of appreciation. Remember someone who helped you. Remember a moment you survived. Remember a kindness that reached you in a hard season. Let that memory glow softly, then let it dim into peace, like a candle you don't have to keep watching. Sometimes, survival means accepting help without shame. In many avalanche rescues, the buried person cannot save themselves. They must be found, dug out, rewarmed, held. And afterward, many struggle with the humility of needing others. But needing help is not weakness, it is humanity. Tonight, accept help from the simplest source, rest. Let sleep help you. Let the night do what you cannot do by effort alone: repair, restore, reset. You don't have to be self-sufficient in the dark. You can let yourself be cared for by quiet things: breath, warmth, stillness, time. The wisest travelers keep their hearts soft, not hardened. It would be easy to become cynical after witnessing danger, to treat mountains as enemies, to treat life as a battlefield. But many who live long in the high world become the opposite: gentle, humble, deeply grateful. They love the mountains without demanding them to be tame. They respect risk without living in fear. They keep their hearts soft, and that softness becomes their true strength. Tonight, let your heart soften too. Release the hard shell of vigilance. Release the clenched jaw of tomorrow. You can be safe and soft at the same time. Breathe in, and let tenderness spread through you, like warmth through wool. The chain ends where peace begins, at home, at shelter, at return. In the end, avalanche wisdom points toward one sacred outcome: coming back. Back to camp, back to family, back to warmth, back to life. The summit is only a moment. The return is the story. And tonight, your return is into sleep. You are coming back to yourself. Back to the quiet place beneath all the noise. Back to the steady center that was there before the storms. Let that return feel like a homecoming. Let your body recognize the safety of this moment and release into it fully. Even when nature is fierce, mercy can still be found. Mercy shows up in small ways: a tree that stops your slide, a partner who hears the whoomph, a forecast that warns in time, a decision to turn back, a rescuer's hands moving fast and steady. Mercy is often practical. It is often quiet. And sometimes, mercy is simply that you are here tonight, alive, breathing, sheltered. Let that mercy wash over you like a gentle snowfall, covering old harshness, smoothing sharp memories, making the world soft again. You don't have to fight to be worthy of mercy. You only have to receive it. So receive it now, with a long, slow exhale. The spirit of endurance is not only in climbing, but in continuing. There are people who have lost friends to avalanches, who have carried grief down a mountain like a heavy pack, and still they wake up. Still they love. Still they care for others. Still they choose humility and gratitude. This is endurance, not glory, but faithful continuation. It is the human spirit refusing to become bitter. Tonight, honor your own endurance. You have made it through days you thought you wouldn't. You have carried weights no one saw. And now you are here, allowed to rest. Let sleep be your reward, not earned, but given, like grace. In the end, the mountain becomes a mirror of eternity. Snow falls, bonds form, layers shift, and the world keeps turning through seasons. Storm, silence, thaw and bloom. Mountains rise, avalanches run, forests regrow, and the sky keeps spreading its stars like a wide blessing. When we stand in such vastness, we remember our smallness, not as despair, but as comfort. We are held by something larger than our plans, larger than our worries, larger than our fear. And tonight, in your bed, you can feel that same holding. You have walked far above with the great mountain spirit of life, and now you may rest. Even in your rest, you have already conquered great peaks in the journey of being human. If tonight's journey brought peace to your spirit, remember to like this video, subscribe, and share what great survival story you love to dream through next. And when you're ready, click the video on your screen to continue your endurance path to the summit. May peace guard your dreams until morning, and may grace be the first light to greet you when you wake. Good night.